Data validation is how you control what people can type into your spreadsheet. Instead of hoping they enter the right values, you give them drop-down lists, restrict inputs to numbers within a range, or block invalid dates entirely. This tutorial covers everything from basic drop-down lists to dependent drop-downs and custom validation formulas. By the end, your spreadsheets will be error-proof. A drop-down list is the most common type of data validation. Select the cells where you want to drop down, go to Data, Data Validation, and choose List from the Allow menu. You can type your options directly, separated by commas, or reference a range of cells that contains your list items. The drop-down arrow appears, and users can only select from your predefined options. No more typos, no more inconsistent entries. I have an order form with a status column that should only contain pending, shipped, or delivered. I select the status column, go to Data, Data Validation, set Allow to List, and type pending, shipped, delivered in the source box. Now every cell in that column has a drop-down arrow. Users click it and pick from the three options. If someone tries to type something else, like delivered with a typo, Excel blocks it with an error message. Static drop-down lists need manual updates when options change. A smarter approach is to put your list items in an Excel table on a reference sheet. When you add a new item to the table, the drop-down automatically includes it. No need to edit the validation rule. Use a named range pointing to the table column, or use the indirect function with a table name. This keeps your drop-downs self-maintaining and scalable. Dependent drop-downs change their options based on what was selected in another drop-down. Pick a country, and the city drop-down shows only cities in that country. Pick a department, and the role drop-down shows only roles in that department. The setup uses named ranges, one for each parent option, and the indirect function to switch between them dynamically. It takes a few minutes to configure, but the user experience is worth it. I'll create a dependent drop-down. In the first column, I have a region drop-down with north, south, east, west. I create 4 named ranges, north, south, east, west, each containing the cities in that region. In the city column, I set up data validation with list, and in the source, I type equals indirect of A2, which references the region cell. When a user picks north, the city drop-down shows Boston, New York, Philadelphia. When they pick west, it switches to LA, Seattle, Denver. Drop-downs aren't the only validation type. You can restrict cells to whole numbers or decimals within a specific range. Great for quantities or percentages. You can restrict to dates before, after, or between specific dates. Perfect for order forms and timesheets. And you can set text length limits to prevent overly long entries. Each rule can include a custom error message that tells the user exactly what went wrong and what values are accepted. For complex rules, use custom validation with a formula. Any formula that returns true allows the entry, false rejects it. For example, you can require that a cell contains an @ sign to validate email format, or require that a value in one cell is greater than a value in another cell, or use COUNTIF to prevent duplicate entries in a column. Custom formulas give you unlimited control over what users can enter. I'll set up a no duplicates rule. I select my employee ID column, set validation to custom, and enter the formula equals COUNTIF a comma, the 2 equals 1. This checks whether the entered value appears more than once in the column. If someone tries to enter a duplicate ID, Excel rejects it with my custom error message. This employee ID already exists. Please enter a unique value. No duplicates possible. Studies on spreadsheet accuracy show that implementing data validation rules can eliminate up to 75% of data entry errors. That's 3 out of 4 mistakes prevented before they ever reach your data. When you consider that one bad entry can cascade through formulas, reports, and business decisions, data validation isn't optional. It's essential for any shared spreadsheet. That's everything you need to set up bulletproof data validation in Excel. The template with all these examples, basic dropdowns, dependent dropdowns, and custom formulas, is linked in the description. Subscribe for more practical Excel tutorials every week.